Connecting to your spirit guides. The first guide that I'd like to cover is one of the inner band guides. This would be what I would call your Dr. Chemist guide. Dr. Chemist guides commonly work with our energetic body to help bring about change. They help with our physical state and also with our well-being. They can aid us in healing modalities such as Reiki. I find commonly people that are in the medical fields, nurses, or doctors, whether they are aware of it or not, would have a close and very strong connection to their Dr. Chemist guide. These guides will help aid us in healing from physical ailments that happen to manifest in our life. And they can also help us to maintain a healthy lifestyle. If you are looking to bring health into your body and looking for dietary changes, trying to increase more whole foods and foods that will benefit your body, calling in your Dr. Chemist guide to be around to work with you is an important thing to do. Whether or not you actually have a connection with your Dr. Chemist guide, I do suggest calling that guide in when you're trying to make some dietary lifestyle changes. There's many different ways that you could go about meeting your guides. And I'd like to talk about an experience that happened a few years back when I actually started to put effort into connecting to one of my guides. The first guide that I actually met was my Dr. Chemist guide. I was in the Outer Banks in North Carolina with my family, and I decided to go sit on a porch, watch the sunset, and spend some time meditating and asking a guide to come forward in meditation. While I did the meditation, I saw a beautiful woman. She looked like a young woman, maybe about the age of 20. She had curled, spiraled red hair and was wearing a beautiful white flowing dress. She came and she stood in front of me in my meditation, and I asked her what her name was. She told me her name was Arnica. After she spoke her name, I was broken out of my meditation, and then I came back to the Outer Banks in North Carolina. I went inside and I right away grabbed my phone. I was looking to find out what Arnica meant. I felt like that was some kind of a flower. I remembered the name Arnica being some kind of a flower, and I thought that that was pretty interesting, so I Googled it. After some research, I found out that Arnica was a flower, and it is also a medicinal flower that you could use to put on an injury that would help with inflammation and help reduce inflammation. So it was very medical, I thought, and a little holistic. So I decided that that guide that stepped forward must be my Dr. Chemist guide. It seemed pretty natural and normal for my circumstance. I was a full-time Reiki practitioner, and in my past, I was a dental hygienist. I am very drawn to medical things and the medical community. So being the first guide that I ever met, that made a little bit of sense to me. Typically speaking, it is common for a person while doing meditation or asking for their guide to come forward to meet their joy guide first, the guide that brings them happiness. Their best friend on the other side is usually the one that comes through. But for me, it was my Dr. Chemist guide. After spending a little bit time in that meditation, researching that I have now met my Dr. Chemist guide, I went on with the rest of my vacation. That night, as we were getting ready to go to sleep. We were in a beach house, and the kitchen and the living room were upstairs, and the bedrooms were a floor below. So we shut off all the lights and we headed downstairs. Being unfamiliar in my environment, as I walked down the stairs, there was a 90-degree turn, and I fell. I broke my leg that night. As you can see in the x-ray, such a wonderful fracture. The emergency room was an hour and a half away. I waited until the next morning to go. Being a Reiki practitioner, I did some self-Reiki and a little bit of ibuprofen, and I was good till morning. Here's a little picture of me and my broken leg. The kids got a popsicle, and I got a cast. And just to show what a trooper I am, I took a picture as I crawled on my hands and my knees to the beach with my foot wrapped up in a garbage bag so that I could enjoy the rest of my vacation. Now, it is interesting to note that day, that evening actually, before I broke my leg, I met my Dr. Chemist guide. The first guide that came in instead of my joy guide was the guide that helps with physical healing, the guide that works with spirituality,